What's going on? Welcome back to my channel. Listen, so it seems David was in trial today, and I must say, man, the details that came out of that trial was very disgusting and sad and wow. You know what I mean? And come to find out that text message that was exchanged between those two, it seems they really was dating, and it seemed that she really wanted to be with David. So this whole case is wild. I'm going to play a news clip and read a TMZ article, and so let's get into it. So the TMZ article right here says, man, David ordered two chainsaws, body bag, and shovel after killing Celeste. Wow. Because we got to remember that, her body was chopped up and left in his car. You know what I mean? But nobody really know, like, did it because he was on tour, if I'm not mistaken, when all this stuff was going on, when the body was found in his car, you know what I mean, a couple months later, or whatever, so this is just wow right here, man. This is crazy. So let's read the article right here. So it says David went on to Amazon and purchased a couple chainsaws after he stabbed Celeste Rivas and stood while she bled out. This, according to prosecutors in the case. According to new docs filed by prosecutors, investigators claim the singer stabbed Rivas to death at his Hills home, on April 23rd, 2025, after ordering an Uber to bring the 14-year-old all the way from her family home in Lake Arizona, California. Once she was there, prosecutors alleged Davis stabbed Celeste to death, and the next day ordered a shovel from Home Depot, which delivered to his home through Postmates. After a week later, on May 1st, they alleged he purchased two chainsaws from Amazon, also delivered his home, and 4 days later followed up by buying a body bag, heavy-duty laundry bags, and a blue and inflatable pool. Wow, that is crazy. He ordered two chains from Amazon, shovel from Home Depot. Like, didn't he thought like this stuff was gonna get traced back to him on his credit card or whatever, email address and stuff like that? And then I'm saying, like, that is crazy. This stuff gonna get traced back to you. He's a psychopath and he's a dummy. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy is crazy. Like I said before, like at first I was like 95% sure. And I'm still kind of 95% sure that this guy is cooked. Like he's done. You know what I mean? I can't say 100 because I done seen some crazy stuff in some trials these last couple of years, but he's 95% guilty, man. Like this guy need to be put under the jail, yo. If all this is true, yo, this is wild. So it says they claim David made the purchase under the fake name Victoria Mendez. Okay, so he made it under, so he ordered under a fake name. But what about the transaction of his card or whatever? You know what I'm saying? Because you got to use the card to order online. So who name was that in? You know what I mean? They're gonna trace that bank account and stuff like that. So it says the star allegedly placed Rivier's body into the blue inflatable pool to prevent her blood from spilling all over the garage floor. Prosecutors say he then used a chainsaw and possibly other tools to cut off her limbs with a gruesome detail. Wow. Prosecutors claim David amputated the ring and pinky fingers on Celeste's left hand because she had a tattoo of his name on her ring finger, which has not been recovered. When detectives searched David's rental home in September 2025, authorities say they found evidence consistent with the dismemberment of the victim's body in an inflatable pool, which contained multiple linear cuts. Several biological samples were tested positive for blood and were collected within the garage. Now, granted, this is when I say that they took 7 months to really arrest this guy. So this right here says when they searched David home in September 25, authorities say they found evidence consistent with the dismemberment of the victim's body in an inflatable pool contained multiple linear cuts. So when they searched the home in September 25, why didn't they arrest him for a probable cause right then and there? See, that's why I'm still kind of confused on. They had a lot of this information, but they still didn't arrest this guy. Like, I'm kind of confused, man. So it says the medical examiner's report noted there was blue plastic fragments consistent with the blue pool material, according to prosecutors found even in Celeste's body parts. As for when David and Rivias met, prosecutors claim it was way back in 2022 when she was just 11 years old. Wow. The docs say their sexual relationship began in November 2023 when she was 13 and he was 18 years old. This guy's sick, man. Prosecutors also say it's clear when David knew she was a minor. Celeste's family first reported her missing in February and April 2024, and according to docs, Riverside County Sheriff's deputies called David on February 17th after finding his number in Celeste's phone records, and he claimed he had last spoken to her on February 13th or 14th, but also said he didn't know she was a minor or missing. This guy crazy. They said Celeste returned home 2 days later and her parents took her phone. Although he would now be aware that she was underage, prosecutors say David got back in contact with Celeste by paying the student in her class $1,000 to deliver his cell phone David had purchased for her. I remember seeing this video right here. I do remember seeing this video, but I didn't know what was really going on. So I guess he paid this guy $1,000 to give her the phone. Prosecutors say throughout 2024, they traveled together as a couple to Las Vegas, London, and Texas, where she met his family. There are plenty of texts and explicit photographs during this time that make it clear they were having sex, according to the docs. This guy is cooked, man. The night before, Celeste allegedly took the fateful 90-minute Uber to David's home. Prosecutors say they had a fight over text about her being jealous. He was hooking up with other women, and she threatened to disclose damaging information about her relationship with him to end his career and destroy his life. Wow. Wow. David's first studio album was scheduled to be released April 2025, just 3 days after the fight. Prosecutors allege David started covering his tracks almost immediately. Celeste arrived at home at 10:10 p.m., but at 10:30 p.m. he sent texts to her phone asking where she was. The DA's office believes she was part of his premeditated plan to cover up the murder. At 11:30 p.m. that night, 1 hour after the alleged murder, Davis drove to Santa Barbara County, attempting to dispose of Celeste's property and destroy evidence. According to prosecutors, they returned home early on April 2024 to do a radio interview to promote his album. On 2026, the lady sent his final text to Celeste's phone. Prosecutors claim David made 2 more trips to a remote part of Santa Barbara County after his chainsaw and body bag purchase on May 8th and May 31st, possibly to dispose of more evidence. They note Celeste's passport was found in that same area in January 2026. On July 7th, he ordered a bird cage from Amazon using the Victoria Mendez alias again, which prosecutors think he intended to use to incinerate evidence. As you know, Rivers' body was found in the back of David's Tesla back in September, and prosecutors say surveillance video confirms that Sanger was the last person to drive the vehicle on July 29, 2025, before he left to begin his tour. So this is right here is a video and stuff like that when he got arrested. David was just arrested 2 weeks ago and was allegedly in possession of 40 terabytes of child David was just arrested 2 weeks ago and was allegedly in possession of 40 terabytes of child pornography at the time he was pleading not guilty. Yo, this is crazy. Like, chat, this is wild. Like, I'm still, they had all the information, man. They should have been arrested this guy, dog. This guy went on tour and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, dang, yo. I can't believe this guy did that to that girl, yo. Like, that's crazy. Like he said he didn't know she was a minor. Come on, man. Come on, dog. Like really? That's crazy. But let's listen to the news report right quick.
I'm Rudabe Shabazi.
And I'm Juan Fernandez in for Pat Harvey tonight. We begin with breaking news. 2 high-profile murder cases in court today. Singer David accused of killing a 14-year-old girl, and Nick Reiner charged with murdering his parents.
CBS LA's Hunter Sowards begins our coverage from downtown LA, where we just learned graphic new details in the David case. Hunter.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Rudabe. Some really disturbing details here, and it really is the first time that we are hearing the prosecution lay out their case as to how David Burke, they say, murdered Celeste Rivas Hernandez. It's also the first time we're hearing about a possible motive behind those actions. New court filings today outline disturbing allegations from the prosecution claiming David Burke went to great lengths to murder, dismember, and then conceal evidence after the death of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. They claim David snapped after Celeste began getting jealous he was seeing other girls. She threatened to make their relationship public, which started when she was a minor, claiming he knew it would end his career and destroy his life. With an impending album and world tour, they say he killed her to keep her silent. They say among evidence they planned to present in court proof he bought 2 chainsaws, body bags, and other tools to kill her, even using a blue plastic pool to conceal any blood that might spill onto his floor. However, they claim to have found Rivas Hernandez's DNA in his garage.
So really graphic details, but also what David did to cover up these purchases, buying them through an alias.
Documents also claim the links David went to in order to pursue the teen. Before her death, Celeste's family first reported her missing to the Riverside County Sheriff's Department in February. Detectives questioned David about her whereabouts. He claimed to not know she was 13. After she returned home on February 24th, her parents took away her cell phone. That's when the prosecution claims he gave a kid in junior high $1,000 to give the victim a cell phone that he purchased so they could keep communicating.
And on that cell phone, they would exchange sexually explicit images, talk about pregnancy, abortions, Plan B, birth control. I mean, this is not
Wow.
something that is appropriate for any young teenage girl. It's going to be very hard for David to overcome that.
That was former federal prosecutor Nima Rahmani breaking down what we learned today from those court documents. Now, the defense actually made a motion in court to try and keep the details of that filing sealed so the public would not be able to learn those details. The judge ultimately denying that request. When it comes to when we will see David Burke back in court, he said just 2 words today to that judge, "Yes, ma'am," when she asked if he agreed with a May 26th preliminary hearing. We're reporting live downtown tonight. Hunter Sowards, CBS LA.
All right.
Dang, man, that is just crazy, man. Like the parents took the phone. He bought her another one. They sending explicit text messages to each other. This guy knows she was young, man. Like this case is sickening, man. Like this guy is like a psychopath, man. Like this is crazy. And he in prison with the other guy that killed his parents a few months ago. You know what I mean? 2 6 individuals in life, man, that need to stay behind bars forever. You know what I'm saying? So this case is wild. You know, his lawyers, they really kind of showed out the first day in court. You know what I mean? Talking about they wanted to have the preliminary hearing in 2 weeks. And now all these details coming out kind of changed her mind. And now we're going to have a preliminary hearing May 26th. Crazy situation is sad as wild. Listen, y'all tell me what y'all think about this whole thing, man. Let me know your thoughts in the chat. Don't forget to like and subscribe.